What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are test driving a Dodge Charger SXT on aftermarket 22-inch rims, because as my grandmother always used to tell me, you can't lose with 22s. Now, this is pretty much just a base V6. This particular Charger is a 2020 model, and in 2020, the standard factory rim on the SXT package was a 17-inch rim, so the 22 is considerably larger than the standard factory wheel. And for those of you who don't know how this may affect how the car drives, the larger the rim, the lower profile the tire. So you have less sidewall, is like that side of the tire, that's what that's called. You have less sidewall to absorb any potential bumps or imperfections in the road. You also have less sidewall to give in turns. So in theory, a car with such large wheels and low profile tires as this one has would handle a little bit more sharply, because the tire will stay stiff because the sidewall is so compressed, but it will ride rougher because there's less rubber to absorb all of the jolts. And I have driven several Chargers similar to this one in my time with stock sized wheels and tires, and I have to say the 22s don't make nearly as much of a difference as I would have predicted. The handling probably is a little bit sharper than it would be on one with standard 17-inch wheels, or I think they had optional 19-inch wheels as well. And I think now in 2022 the SXTs come standard with 19s, so the handling is probably just a little bit sharper. The ride for the most part is still very composed, but over, say, like expansion joints, which are kind of those lines in the road, or freeway tracks, you definitely do get more abrupt body motions at that point. That is where you feel the difference with the 22-inch rims on this car. But all in all, considering the fact that for this 2020 model, the rims are 5 inches larger, and then the sidewall is correspondingly that much narrower, not a huge difference in driving experience, much less than I would have expected, which might explain why so many people put 22-inch wheels and the like on Dodge Chargers and Challengers, and maybe to a lesser extent Chrysler 300s. I feel like nobody really buys the 300 anymore. They did when these cars first came out in 05, and that first 300C looked like a Bentley or Rolls Royce or something, but nowadays I feel like everybody goes to the Dodge because the Dodge is now the better looking car. Of course, these cars are still based on the old Mercedes architecture, being designed back in the day when it was Daimler Chrysler. So the chassis on this car is based on the W211 E-Class, which originally came out in 2003. The front suspension and steering is based on the W220 S-Class, which came out in 1999. So we're still talking about some old technology under these things, but it happens to be old, relatively top-of-the-line Mercedes-Benz technology, so it's still pretty much better than anything Dodge could design today, or at least has bothered to do. I can feel, again, a little bit more body motion than I normally would, but overall, the drawback of having these ginormous rims on this car, to me, isn't even really the driving experience, because the driving experience is fine. It's the fact that I'm concerned about curbing these things all over the place, because when you get these big giant wheels and low profile tires on cars, if you hit a pothole too hard, you're much more likely to put a bubble in the sidewall of the tire, damage the rim. Obviously, they're much more susceptible to curb rash and all sorts of other bad things happening to them. In general, I am not a fan of these giant wheels on cars. I am a fan of saying you can't lose with 22s. I think that's the most amazing phrase ever. But I wouldn't actually put 22-inch rims on my personal vehicle unless maybe it was a full-size Range Rover after I win the lottery. Everybody is taking it easy on this road today, which is fine. Again, this is the base V6, and I've always found the acceleration on the V6 Chargers and 300s to be fine. On the earlier ones, you had to get the 3.5 liter. They used to have a base 2.7 liter as an optional engine. That probably didn't quite have enough power, but if you had the 3.5, it was okay. And then when they updated it to the 3.6 liter Pentastar engine, which this car has, that was even better, especially with the 8 HP ZF automatic transmission. This is really a fantastic engine transmission combo for this particular car, and gives it good power, reasonable fuel economy, and what else do you want? It's a nice, big, comfortable sedan that's also very nice to drive. So it's the best of a lot of worlds. There's a big, comfortable sedan that I used to have one of, a Subaru Legacy. I guess I still have one, I just never drive it. All right. There's some sort of Mercedes there with some two-tone paint. You do get a little bit more tire noise, excuse me, with these giant wheels and tires. Let's see here. That's 58 miles an hour. On a decent road. It's not perfect, but it's not horrible either. And you can definitely hear a little bit more rolling than you would. These more aggressive tires, again, you just get a little bit more noise out of them. People love the look of the big wheels, but there are some drawbacks. But in this particular car, not as many as I would have expected. As I said before, the chassis and the suspension are coping very well with the additional strain of these wheels and tires on them. All right, let's take this beauty on the freeway just for fun. Give it the beans. Oh, the surging power of the Pentastar V6 and the smooth shifts of the 8-speed automatic has us going way too fast. So we'll back off of that a little bit. I love driving these cars, I really do. Even on stupid 22-inch wheels, this is a fun car to drive. So let's see. Let me get over into this lane. All right, so that's 70. $69, $68, but that'll give you an idea of noise. It's, you know, it's not bad. These 22s aren't that bad on it. I guess if you want to put 22s on your Charger, go ahead, knock yourself out. It's not really going to mess up the way the car drives too much, but like I said, just look out for them curbs, because that's always my thing with these ginormous rims. These are just nice cars to drive. I'm so sad that they're discontinuing them. I mean, I knew it was coming. They've already left this chassis in production since, what? calendar year 2004, model year 2005. So it's going to be, this chassis will have been in production with some updates for 19 years by the time they stop building it next year in 2023. But it still makes me sad because I really do genuinely love these cars. And I will own one someday, probably a retired Charger Pursuit, because I have such a thing for ex-cop cars. My Crown Vic needs a friend. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about test driving the old Charger on the 22s. If you need the deuces, I guess go ahead and get them if you want to look like a baller, but just be careful when you're parking it up, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like my video, leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel, all that fun stuff, and have a fantastic day, and always drive safely out there. Bye-bye.